STEAM is great, but is STEAM for you? Although any STEM profession is high reward, they all require dedication, resilience, and it has to be something you truly enjoy. If you're debating whether to pursue a career in STEAM or not, this episode's for you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Scene in STEAM. My guest today is the amazing Alex Blake. Alex,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you.
Me too.
So Alex, in our freshman year, you took a break and came back, but you've always been, or at least from what you've told me, you've always been like fairly sure of what you wanted to do in your path. And it's always been so interesting to me, like how you've explained, what you want to do in the future in your career. So what is it that you want to do specifically, and how did you get to that? How did you decide that's what you wanted?
Yes. So I want to be a dermatologist, and I actually, as a teenager, I really struggled with how I looked. I was really insecure. I had really bad acne. So my mom took me to see a dermatologist. And after that, honestly, like my life changed. I had a lot more self-confidence. I was happier. And for me, like I'm deciding between dermatology or plastics. Both have to do with like how you look, cosmetics, because I want to help my patients who are like insecure, whether they don't like their nose or they have like a burn scar or acne or whatever it is. I want them to feel more confident, and like in doing so, it can really like change your life, just like how it did for me.
That's awesome. And you were telling me like you want to combine what you do in dermatology with like your business, right?
Yeah, so I would like to start like a cosmetic line. Like if I become a dermatologist, like and sell products like skincare, and my major is biochemistry, so I'm hoping to use that as well to like develop a skincare line, because I think that would like really help, like my patients, because this is the line that I am creating for my patients to see what it is that they need. And also as a person of color, I know that there is a lack of like knowledge of like how to treat like melanated skin. So not only for like Black people, but Asian people, Hispanic people, like people of all colors. So that would also really help with that.
Right, that's awesome. It's crazy, I feel like, how one visit to the doctor or just, experiencing someone doing their job can like inspire us. Because like you went to see that dermatologist once, you're like, wow, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But it took you a little bit to come to that conclusion. And you were telling me a little bit about how, when you took your break, you decided, or you were deciding if that's what you really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone who's debating if STEM is really for them, and how would you go about them finding that out?
So I wasn't sure that STEM was for me when I started in Oakwood, like my freshman year. And like my grades reflected it, because I wasn't really trying hard, and I took some time off. And in that time, I really, I worked at a doctor's office to really see, what is it really like, being like a doctor. And in doing so, I really got to see, the doctor that I was working for interact with his patients, the staff interact with him, everything about it. And I grew to actually really love it. And I decided that from working there that, this is definitely something that I want to do, the interaction with the patients, and, you need to talk to them, and, helping them with their issues, and, that whole making their day, making them feel better, them not being sick anymore. That I really love.
Right.
So in my time off, I really got to, see if this was something that I wanted, and this is something that I could wake up every day and enjoy going to work, because that is something that I didn't want. I don't want to go to work and be like, oh, I have to go to work. I want to wake up and be excited to help people and see my patients, and their familiar faces and my staff and everything.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than, waking up and dreading what you're going to do the rest
Right,
of the day.
yeah, especially after spending all this time going to school for it.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you would say primarily get or be able to shadow someone who doing what you want to do, essentially.
That definitely will help. Even working in the office with them, that helps as well, because then you get to really see every day what it's like, because you have to show up every day just as if you were a doctor.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So for someone, because we've been in a pandemic for a bit, and I know that cut off some people's opportunities, and I feel like sometimes you don't always get the chance to go in. It's really great when we are, But I guess for those people who don't have those opportunities, what would you suggest for them to kind of find out if that's what they really want to do?
If you're not able to shadow, I would definitely recommend maybe like reaching out. Like if you go to church and maybe someone in your church is a doctor, maybe you can't shadow them, but at least like talk to them, interview them, ask them questions. Like what is their lifestyle like? Do they have to wake up early in the morning? Are they on call? Do they work for themselves or do they work for someone else? You know, does it line up with something that you want to do as well? Like, you know, does it line up with what you want for your life?
Right.
Yeah.
Got you. And you were also telling me a little bit about how you like to take on a lot, and sometimes you feel like it's too much. And I definitely understand that. Like I say yes to these things. I'm like, wait, why did I say yes to that? I don't have time. But I guess, you know, when you are doing these things like research, you're in clubs, how do you find that balance? And, you know, how do you handle stress now that you're back in school, back on the grind, and you like know where you're headed?
Finding the balance is something that I definitely struggle with because I may make a plan and I put all these things in my calendar, but if someone asks me to do something, like, oh, someone asks, like, hey, Alex, can you help me with this? Or, like, can you do research with me? My automatic answer is yes before I even, like, think about, oh, what else is on my planner? So I end up having to push things around, but I do manage it with, like, relieving my stress in like exercise. Like I love going to the gym and working out, running on the treadmill, lifting weights. That is like a passion of mine. Like it's like my happy place. Just like to go to the gym after the end of the day. Like, you know, everything's gonna be fine. It's just like, you know, in the community in the gym. That's something that I also love too.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you know, I need to get better at that because the gym is not my happy place. But it's definitely important. Like exercise is important. Do you feel like a change when the days that you exercise versus the days that you don't?
Yes, they're like in like happy hormones that are released when you do exercise. So your mood is elevated, and also I feel like relaxed and like at peace, and I know that I can handle everything. Like it's not like everything is stressing me out and there's too much like on my plate and it's all in my face. Like after I work out, like there's like more peace and I'm very calm, so I know that I just handle like, okay, I just do this, like task 1, task 2, task 3. Then when I do everything that I need to do, then I know that, you know, I just eat dinner and get ready for bed and start the next day.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I cannot wait to see what you do with your dermatology business, with your skincare business. I know I'm going to be coming to you, you know, like, Alex, please check out my skin. I don't know what's going on. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching.